Hey guys, Philip Harris Jr. here, and this is going to be a speed setup, I guess, of a custom scenario for challenging Flabaliki, because he's doing this thing where you can submit a custom scenario, and he might do it. The link to the video with the details is going to be in the description, so go ahead and click on that if you want to uh, do one yourself. Right now I'm just like getting the entrances where I want them. I was just using those lines as distances, and now I'm choosing a path. I go with the very sandy one because it is supposed to be like a beach cove thing, setting up the land so that it's in the right spot, not looking all horrible, and I can then add like decorations to the front. I later thought I should have put them back even more and then have like an entire sidewalk going down the front, but that was literally after I had done everything, so I couldn't really go back and do that. I'm checking the lights because they didn't seem very bright, and so I did delete them and change it to a path light instead of a sidewalk light. Later I realized that it's because it was on pause, it didn't have time to turn on, which is apparently a thing. Now I'm just like messing with little things, trying to remember what all I was supposed to change, and I'm going through the fences, finding the one that I like best. I go with the Atlantis fence, I think. I'm just changing a little bit of the statistics just to mess with stuff. He wanted unlimited rides or unlimited money and free rides set up, so that's what I was just doing there. Now I'm choosing the texture and the land and all that. Right here I'm lowering the land painstakingly since I didn't want to just go with the thing. I wanted to even it out or something. Then I decide that's not working, and evening it more. This is so that I can add water. I wanted it to be kind of smooth, like lowering into a beach. And then around here I decided to do like an island slash sandbar. Originally it was going to be a sandbar, but then I later decided to turn it into an island-like thing. I wanted to have like cliffs like they have in Laguna Beach and not in Malibu, but the other place. What's near Malibu? Anyways, where it's like cliffside. I guess a better example would have been like the Caribbean somewhere. And then I decided to cut it in half, add just a flow of water, give it more reason to, I don't know, just something to fill space. Put in a ship, and then I put a bunch of stuff underneath the ship to get rid of the metal scaffolding that's holding up the ship, because that just looks tacky. And this way it's kind of like, oh no, there's buried treasure. Right here, what I was trying to do was add a little bit of water so that I could do a waterfall, and then I was going to cut into the land even more and drag it into the center. But that did not work, and I gave up eventually. I think I'm still trying, yeah, I'm still trying, but I do eventually give up. There was just no way to get it to work, and then there wasn't going to be a way to get it to work with how the slope is, so I just gave up. Putting in the starter path to connect the two areas with a nice bridge. What's going on? Should I have cut this out? I should have cut that out. That was a really long pause. Too late for that now. Picking the lights, that's when I realized that I had to press play for the lights to come on. Yeah, see? Lights, it's all nice and lit now. Going through and finding the bench I want, I go with that Atlantis bench, rather. I decide not to put any trash cans in, and in a few moments that becomes a good thing. I go with I wanted to do a nice little entrance, so I put in the information booths so that, I mean, he can change it if he wants to, but I wanted to do it like that. And then I'm putting in some rocks and some coral, adding to the like idea of it being a shipwreck area, giving it something to wreck the ships on, basically. Just plenty of rocks and coral. I go in, here I'm adding mist. My best answer is why is because that maybe there's waves crashing right there. People started coming in because I apparently never paused it back. And it does become a good thing that they're in a minute because I decided to do something with it. You'll see in a second. Just going through little decorations that I can add. Putting in trees, putting in plenty of palm trees and all kinds of palms. Literally go through every palm basically. And then here's where I decide to turn this into an island. I just cover it with trees, and in a little bit I change the center. Here I'm changing it to where the center is grassy. What's next? Here I'm building walls around the information center. I put in the Brooks cheat so that they could be on the path because they can't be in the building. Towards the building, rather. I'm putting in these half walls, but then I later go and change them because it didn't match the bottom walls. And this is where I noticed that. So I go and I change them to ones that fit and change these two. I was thinking about putting a floor in, but even if it was going to work, it wouldn't look right. I'm messing with the time, choosing how late it's got to be open. Basically making a reason for the lights to be there. Right now, what I've decided to do is, even though he doesn't want rides and stores and everything, I'm putting them in, and then I do delete them, but I'm putting them in so that, well, real quick, here's my game crashing in, right there, but I'm putting them in to get, like, litter and vomit all over the path, so that I can add it as an objective. And what I should have done was put the two rides closer, and that's why I'm putting this one. I should have put it closer so that it would actually be on the path, because the other one, you'll see later, the path that I had to build for it, which I do delete, is covered in vomit. And I deleted that one because it was not even, no one was vomiting even on its path, so I gave up on it. Found something that would work. Here I start with the scenario objectives thing. As you see, I named it Shipwreck Cove. I decide the reward for everyone is lollipop, because I have no clue what that does. I've never seen that in the actual gameplay, and I've never done a custom scenario before. The amateur, I don't know what the first one is called, but I go with a VIP Bob Waterman with low litter tolerance. And then what I end up doing is VIPs for all of them. I'm just going through everything and seeing my options. And for this one, she wants to go to a pool, and she has a low autograph tolerance. Or a medium. I do end up with a medium because I figure it'll be really hard to get a low one to be successful. And the third one, what I end up doing is another roller coaster. Because the first one, Apprentice, that's what it's called. Apprentice has a roller coaster, and the third one has a roller coaster. And here I'm like typing in the thing, and it says that Tropical Paradise has been littered by unforgiving guests needing renovations, and I couldn't read that fast. Just making sure I have everything right for what he wants, and deleting all of the things that are no longer needed. You can kind of see how messy the paths are, and that will be great. He'll have to go in and clean up real quick. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Here are mini videos. Hover over them and they'll explain what they are.